So tonight I'm going to review Ghostbusters 2. If you don't know who I am DC Cookster, and thank you very much for watching my video. So in the second installment of the Ghostbusters film, you follow the Ghostbusters 5 years after the first film, where they are out of business, broke, they've been sued. They basically had to resort to going to children's parties for entertainment just to generate some money. Peter Venkman has his own TV show called World of the Psychic and basically is classed as a fraud. And Egon Spengler is in a university doing his scientific research. While all this is happening, a new evil presence in New York City is basically gathering momentum in the form of Vigo the Carpathian, and that stare in that photo still scares me half to death. I remember seeing that when I was younger and it used to absolutely petrify me. I remember reading the comics as well, and at the back of the comics you had certain parts of Ghostbusters 2 at the end, and there was a bit with that stare. It's just that stare. It's absolutely evil. So what do I think about this film? I don't have as much love for this film as I do the first one. All that being said, I do not hate this film. I do find it very, very entertaining. From start to finish, I am not bored in any way, shape or form. The performances are pretty solid in my eyes, especially when the trio are together. So Stantz, Venkman and Spengler are together. They still got that kind of comedic kind of feel to them, which is pretty much the same as the first one. So that's always a plus in my book. Ernie Hudson doesn't have a massive amount of screen time in the film, but once again he plays his part in this film very well. Same with Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis and Annie Potts. So I shall get into the dislikes of the film first, and to be honest, there isn't that many. The first dislike of the film is the montage scene. I do not like the music that comes with that. They should have stuck with the original Ghostbusters music. Instead they used either, I want to say it's Run DMC, but I also want to say it's Bobby Brown. If any of you know who that is, please put it in the comments down below, because I'm not 100% sure myself. Other dislikes of the film, it did seem a bit like there were scenes cut out of the film in certain places. I don't know if there were scenes that were cut out, but if there were, I think they should bring out a version of it with all these scenes in it, because it just could have made it just that film just that little bit better. Other dislikes is I would like to have seen them up the ante a little bit with I want to see them do a bit more ghostbusting as such. You get one scene in the first film where they're basically catching Slimer, and then you get this scene in the second film where in the courtroom where they're basically trying to catch the Scoleri brothers, and that's pretty much all the Ghostbusting you see as such, as in them trapping ghosts out of the two films. That being said, the dislikes of that, 3-4 dislikes out of this whole film are so minimal, it still didn't even doubt. Like, if somebody said watch this film for the rest, like every day, I could quite easily do it and still be very, very entertained. So going on to the likes of the film, I love the upgrade to the Ecto-1. All the flashing lights, basically it was absolutely brilliant. A massive over-exaggeration, and it worked really, really well in my eyes. I also liked the introduction of the slime blowers towards the end, which then leads me on to the addition of the slime that's in the film, the River of Slime. I really, really enjoyed all of the slime scenes in there. Mood slime, as what they call it. I did enjoy the villain, Vigo the Carpathian. He really, really did not need many lines in that film. Honest to God, that stare, that look did it for me. That picture is creepy as hell. Also, there is a scene in the film where they're in that room developing the photos they took earlier on in the film, and you see the different faces of Vigo the Carpathian, and they are frightening as well to me, especially when I was younger. When I first saw it, she used to scare me quite well. I also enjoyed the Statue of Liberty scene. That was a great bit of fun. It was a great watch seeing them use the Statue of Liberty to try and get into the art museum. That was absolutely brilliant. Then just leading on to the very end scene, where they're in the... Is it the art museum? I'm pretty sure it's an art museum anyway. Yeah, I'm 100% sure it's an art museum. Where basically Peter Venkman basically does his Peter Venkman thing and goads Vigo the Carpathian. And when Vigo the Carpathian turns, and you look at that face, you just know he's pissed. It's just brilliant. I think that chances are that's probably my favourite scene out of the whole of the film, actually, to be honest. I just love that. Moving on to other things I like. I love the music that come with it, and I'm not talking about the actual Ghostbusters soundtrack. When they're in the courthouse, when you're getting the build-up to them catching the ghost and then returning to be the Ghostbusters. I love that orchestrated music. That was absolutely brilliant. Generally, all in all, this film was a very, very good watch. It's very, very, very entertaining. Like I said, it hasn't got the same charisma as the first one. I did expect them to kind of up the ante a little bit with this second one, like as in with the Ghostbusting. I wanted to see a bit more of that. That's just me being picky, but yeah, I would have liked to see more of that. All in all, like I said, the film was brilliant. I can hardly find any faults with this film, for me anyway. I'm sure there are many other reviewers that have picked holes in this film, but for me, that's the only ones that really kind of, not dampened it off, but they're so minute that, you know. So if I was to rate this, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think that's a pretty fair review, to be fair. Maybe a little bit lower. 8.5. Like I said, it just didn't have the same kind of feel as you got from the first one. But all in all, like I said, it was still entertaining. So, on that note, what did you all think of the film? What did you all think of my review? If you liked it and you liked the film, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the film and didn't like my review, please give it a thumbs down. Or put it in the comments down below. Once again, my Facebook page will be in a description box down below. If you could please give that a like and share, I'd be very, very grateful. And please don't forget to subscribe as well. I am pretty sure I'll be back for another video at some point this week, so have a great rest of the day or week, whatever you're doing. I shall be back very, very soon. Take care and goodbye.